Chapter 41. A gentle breeze blew through Desimone's hair as she stood on the parapet overlooking the city. From here she could see the mountains where Tesco's home was, the field where Sevrin's family had their farm and cottage, and her city with the people bustling inside. All of her favorite things in one view. Though Maria insisted Desimone change out of Mariella's bowered dress, she couldn't stand the thought of going back to those heavy royal robes she had been wearing. So Maria had hunted and found some lighter ones. Though made of thicker fabric than Mariella's dress, the burgundy cloth had been stitched into a much simpler design, much less crinoline in the petticoat, with fabric which flowed and moved. Embroidery covered the bodice, while the skirt had clear stones stitched into it. A silver circlet encased her head, and an attached veil made of light transparent material spread out from the back of it. Maria said it was in the style of the dresses the queen wore when she had been a princess. Whatever the case, Desmond couldn't contain her happiness. The only thing to gnaw on her mind was Sir Galloway. Once she had changed, she had gone to see him and speak with him in private, but he had disappeared from the castle. She couldn't imagine where he had gone. A deep horn blasted through the air and reverberated off the city walls. What on earth? Desmond looked about her. Princess! Maria darted toward the edge of the parapet. She pointed to a dark spot in the sky. Look, the dragon is attacking again. We must head to the keep. Calm down, Maria. He's not here to attack us. Desmond leaned on the battlement. Though I wonder what he is doing. We agreed he should wait to approach the city until I've introduced him to father. Listen, Princess. Maria caught her hands. It's roaring. He doesn't roar. Desmond put a hand to her ear. Tesco's voice carried over the distance, yelling, Help! Please help me! He's calling for help. Where's Sevrin? She darted for the stairs leading into the castle. Princess, where are you going? Maria dashed after her. I've got to talk to Tesco before the knights hear of this. Desmond flew down the stairs. They might disregard my orders in their fright and harm him, or vice versa. Princess, wait! Maria rushed to keep up with her. Desmond didn't wait. She sprinted all the way to the stable where she got Chestnut out of her stall and swung onto her back. Your Highness! Maria panted up behind her. What about the saddle? No time! Desmond whirled Chestnut around. Oh, I hate riding bareback, Maria muttered as she got to her horse. Maria caught up to Desmond, and they raced out of the castle grounds. By this time they saw Tesco land in the middle of the city somewhere. In the marketplace, it looked like. Desmond galloped down the street, jumping over obstacles, and happy Tesco had found everyone indoors. She couldn't hope to ride so recklessly in a busy street. In a few moments she saw Tesco standing in the city on two legs carrying something in his forepaws. He was looking around frantically, shouting, Please! I mean you no harm! I need someone who can work against poison! His bulk took up so much room in the street he could barely move. Tesco, what happened? Desimone hurried her horse over to him. What are you doing here? Princess, thank goodness! Tesco leaned down to her, and the burden in his hand became visible. Sevrin! Desmond caught his hands. The knight, what was his name? That doesn't matter. He attacked Sevrin, poisoned him. Tesco's voice trembled as he spoke. Is there someone in your city who can work against poison? Master Knighton. He can make just about anything out of herbs. Desmond swung around. Maria, do you know where Master Knighton's shop is? Maria, she and her horse standing well away from Tesco, shook her head. Everyone! Desmond looked around at all the buildings with people peeking out from their doors and windows. Everyone, please! This dragon is not to be feared. I need your help. It's urgent. Your Highness? Daisy hesitantly stepped out from her home. Is it true? Was this dragon talking? Desmond rushed to her. Do you know where Master Knighton's shop is? Up on Apothecary Street. Daisy pointed while keeping her eyes on Tesco. It's Sevrin in the dragon's paws. It is Sevrin. Bradley stepped out from behind a stall where he had been hiding. William and the Henrys followed suit. Soon all the townspeople appeared, gathering around Tesco and gaping at the dragon. He looks bad off, Henry said, examining Sevrin in Tesco's hands. Right. William clapped his hands. Bradley, go get Master Knighton. Tell him what's happened. Bradley took off without hesitation. All right, Henry. You know how slow Master Knighton is. William rubbed his hands. You and I will carry Sevrin over to him. I've got the head. You've got his feet. Henry caught hold of Severin's arms. Tesco let the two take Sevrin from his hands. They carried their friend down a side street much smaller than the main thoroughfare. Tesco. Desmond looked up at the dragon. Who did this? Tesco gestured around him as he spoke. I don't. A knight, yellow hair. Sir Galloway, Desmond clenched her fist. I shall punish him most severely for this. Princess. Desmond turned. Tesco had laid his face on the street. Liquid seeped from his eyes. With a start, Desmond realized he was crying. I can't follow him, Tesco said, looking to where they had carried Sevrin. It's too narrow. Sevrin, I promised to protect him. No one blames you for this, Tesco. Desmond caressed the side of Tesco's face. I'll be sure to keep you abreast of the situation. Will you stay here? Tesco nodded. He closed his eyes, and tears streamed down his face. It will be all right. Desmond kissed his scaly face. Maria, go tell the knights what has happened. Let them know the dragon means no harm. I'll see to Sevrin. Yes, ma'am. Maria rode away back to the castle. Desmond rode in the direction Severin's friends had gone, and rushed up Apothecary Street. She found Master Knighton's shop easily enough, dismounted her horse, and burst in to see Sevrin lying on the table in the middle of his shop. Master Knighton had pressed a cloth to Severin's wound, while the others were busy dunking more cloths in a bucket of fragrant-smelling liquid. After a few seconds, Master Knighton would extend his used cloth, and one of the young men would take it and replace it with one which had been in the liquid. Master Knighton, how is he? Desmond approached him. Not good, I'm afraid, Master Knighton said without breaking stride. From what they told me, Sevrin was poisoned with a concoction I made for Sir Galloway for the express purpose of dispatching the dragon. Ugh, I knew I needed to have the antidote on hand. If only Sevrin had found those herbs. Herbs? Desmond said. He was supposed to bring them by this morning, Master Knighton said, pressing the cloth to the wound. He had herbs with him earlier. He was supposed to drop them here after he escorted me home. He was so excited you accepted him, Princess. He went straight home to tell his parents. They must still be there. I shall return soon. Desmond darted out of the shop, mounted Chestnut, and galloped off without another word. The crowd parted for her as she rode out of the city, across the meadow, and to Severin's field and farm. Mariella looked up from arranging flowers in a clay jar as Desmond burst into the house. Princess? What are you... Sevrin was supposed to deliver herbs to Master Knighton this morning. Desmond rushed in, eyes searching the small cottage. Do you know where they are? I have them drying. Mariella pointed to a set of plants hanging upside down on the hearth. They're no good to anyone if they rot. Desmond snatched them from the line. Is this all of them? Mariella nodded. Is something the matter? I've no time to explain. Desmond darted back to her horse. Promise I'll return soon and tell you all. Mounting Chestnut again, she took off back to the city. She made it back to the shop within a few minutes. Master Knighton and Severin's friends were still pressing claws onto Severin's wound. Master Knighton! Desmond thrust the herbs into his face. Is this it? Knighton took them from her grasp. Yes, this is it. Good, they're already dried. Hold on, Princess. You boys continue washing his wound. I'll be back soon. Desmond took Severin's hands as the others continued their flurry of activity. Sevrin, listen to me, she whispered in his ear. Don't die. Don't leave me now that I've found you again. She kissed his knuckle. A flutter of the eyelid was the only indication he had heard anything she said.